What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Random Encounter Podcast, Episode 9. I'm your host, James, and as always, I am not alone. I'm joined by Mike.
What up, boys?
And Jesse.
Hey, guys, what's up?
Yeah, you notice I did the intro a little bit backwards there. Just want to change it up some. Because I usually always say Jesse first. But I was like, you know what? I don't want to feel mean or playing favorites. So let's give Mike the first call. But anyways, we have a bunch of stuff to talk about because this past week was just, man, it was bombarded with news. We had the Tokyo Game Show. Nintendo decided to do their Direct, which we did stream live. And then, of course, Sony did their State of Play, which we also did live. And, man, there's just a ton of stuff that was announced. We also have some leaks to talk about that happened just recently. Actually, I want to say, in the past 24 hours, right before we were recording this episode. So there's quite a few things that we have to talk about. But before we get into that stuff, I do want to shout out all 83 subscribers on YouTube. We do really appreciate all your support. Big shout out to you guys. And as always, if you do like these videos, go ahead and give it a like and share it with somebody, right? If you really like something, you're going to share it with somebody. So we do appreciate you spreading the word. Let them know about our podcast that we do. And don't forget, we also do live streaming, and we also have smaller videos coming out in the coming weeks. So definitely stay tuned for that stuff. Also, I did want to mention that we do have our Twitch channel up. We're sitting at 30 followers right now. We're trying to hit that goal of 50 followers by the end of the month. So if you can also go ahead and check us out on Twitch, just search in the Random Encounter Podcast. We really appreciate that as well. Our goal for our YouTube subscription is 100 before the end of the month. So as always, spread that word so we can get this going. But without further ado, let's start getting into a couple things. Actually, let's start with what we've been playing real quick. Jesse, what we've been playing, or what you've been playing, rather.
All right. So since I wasn't on the podcast last week, let's see what I was playing. As you guys may have seen, I've been streaming a lot. By a lot, I mean like almost every other day now. Tim, that's been like game number 1. There's something about it. It's a simple but hard MMO in terms of like a Pokemon-like clone. We just finished, I believe, the second gym on that one, or dojo they call them. So I'm enjoying that. And then I stepped back because like I wanted to play Mario and Rabbids, the first game. The second game's coming out here soon. So that's been my like right before bed game. It's one of those games you could just pick up, play for a little bit, turn off the power of the Switch, and just leave it in standby mode until you're feeling like playing it again. And then I ended up buying the Pixel remaster of Final Fantasy VI.
Nice.
I was waiting and hoping it would go on sale, and it never did. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'm in the mood to replay a classic Final Fantasy game. And watch, like 2 days later, it's going to go on sale. But like,
thank you for your sacrifice.
But like something about the music and everything that was like one of not like the second SNES games I ever had. I don't know what person thought it was a great idea to give a kid Final Fantasy 3 for their birthday, but hey, whoever it was, I thank them for it. Other than that, like other than those 3 games, honestly, I got kind of worn out on Dot Hack, so I put that on the back burner. It does, the first part at least shows its age a lot in terms of story. So I'm at a little boring part of the game, so I put that on the back burner. I'm not going to miss much of that. Luckily it has the repeat functionality, so if I forgot what's going on, I can always watch what happened. But Mike, what have you been playing?
Oh man, Destiny, pretty much. That's literally the only thing I've been playing. I started actually playing Returnal as well on the PS5. It's pretty good so far, but I haven't really put a lot of time into it yet. But mainly Destiny. I'm trying to get all my characters to the highest light level before Lightfall comes out. So I'm just grinding that out for now. And then I think I'm gonna start playing God of War again soon because it's out in like a month and a half or so. So I'm probably gonna buy that on PC because I never played it on PC, and probably stream it. So
nice.
We'll see.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I've been playing a few things. Aside from the games I've been streaming, I've actually been playing Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn still. No surprise there, especially after the Fire Emblem announcement for in the Nintendo Direct. I've kind of got back into there, started playing that, and then I just started today. Wulong Fallen Dynasty. They have a demo out, and I'm liking it. It makes me it's like Neo. So if you guys ever played Neo, it's basically that, just a little bit quicker and a little bit different. So you can jump around like crazy, like do flips. There's just a
Okay.
bunch of stuff you can do there, and I'm liking it. It still has the toughness of Neo, or Souls-like games. It's still very Souls-like, but it's a lot quicker than the Souls games. And a little bit faster than Neo, but yeah, I'm liking the demos so far, and I'm really looking forward to the game. I know that did get announced at Tokyo Game Show that it's coming to Game Pass too, which is pretty cool. So I definitely can't wait to play that. Honestly, I mean, we probably should all stream it together on PC. Um, Definitely, because
Yep.
Yeah,
it's a nice game. I'm liking it. It's more traditional. It's not open world or anything like that. So it's more like a traditional,
I'm down for it.
I'm
Souls
down.
like game. So, but yeah, if you guys haven't tried it, download the demo. It's available on Xbox and PS5. Highly recommend it. Very fun. Uh, but yeah, that's what I've been playing. So before we get in, I do want to again mention that don't forget to check out our Patreon and our Stream Lives donation page. The best way you guys can support us is definitely by doing that. It just helps us buy any upcoming games that are coming out. Better equipment for streaming, for videos, and so forth. So any support you can give us, we really do appreciate that. But moving along to our first topic, Nintendo did have a direct. I'm not gonna go too much into that because we did do the live stream and you can kind of hear our impressions there and what we thought about it. But I just want to give a quick overview of what they did announce. So the first thing they showed off was Fire Emblem Engage, which is coming in January 20th, 2023. I'm excited for it. That definitely was my pick for the direct. I love that. I love Fire Emblem. As you guys heard me say multiple times, it is my favorite franchise of all time. I just love the tactics gameplay it has. In my opinion, I think it's the best game that does tactics, or the best tactics game out there. Especially when you compare like Final Fantasy Tactics and things like that, which I do enjoy. I just prefer Fire Emblem. But anyways, that was showed off. Pretty awesome. They also the I'm not sure if it was already up, but the Divine Edition is already sold out, which kind of sucks. I really wanted to get that collector's edition.
Yes.
GameStop,
Guess,
GameStop, you could get it in store.
You could.
guess who
Okay.
got it?
Yeah.
You got one?
I got two.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so
One from Nintendo directly, and then one from GameStop directly.
see, I didn't know they launched it already. I thought it was gonna be soon.
So it was crazy. After the direct, it was up on Nintendo's website for minus 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Like, it was one of those where you had to literally log in, add it to the cart, wait till the timer went down to hit the submit order.
Yeah.
So I was lucky there, and then GameStop did it the following, like, later in the afternoon, early evening. And those pre-orders are still up from the last time I saw it.
Oh, I might have to look at that then, because I did mention I do want to have that. So I think after, I don't know,
Yeah.
I might have to
I
end the
wanted
podcast right
one.
now and buy that. Like,
Yeah, the reason why I got two is I want one
I'm checking for you
to
right now.
open,
yeah,
one to actually keep sealed.
yeah. No, definitely. I definitely want that because I love Fire Emblem, so I will for sure get that. Like again,
Oh yeah.
all the amiibos that I own are pretty much Fire Emblem, aside from like Cloud, and I have like some Zelda amiibos. But other than that, like the majority of them are Fire Emblem.
It's called Engage, right?
Yeah, Fire Emblem
Yeah.
Engage. Yep.
That's not even coming up on the website.
It's probably sold out.
It's probably sold out.
It'll-
They probably
it'll come
closed
back.
it down.
Well, Path of Radiance is 154.99.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a steal.
Actually, it's gone down. Yeah, it was over $300 before. So.
Yeah, it was a little over 300.
Yeah. But yeah, other games they announced were Octopath Traveler 2, announced for February 24th. It's actually coming to all platforms except Xbox, which is kind of funny because, Octopath Traveler is on Xbox but not on PlayStation right now. But yeah, Octopath Traveler 2 is coming to everything but Xbox. Yeah, exactly, right? February 24th, they showed off some more Bayonetta 3 gameplay. That comes out October 28th of this year. And then they finally did give a release date for Front Mission First. It was scheduled for summer 2022. Now it's coming out November of 2022. There's no exact release date, but there is a month in a year. So hopefully, it doesn't get delayed again. They did again show off Front Mission 2 remake again, so they show off some clips of that, and then they announced they're gonna do a Front Mission 3 remake, which is awesome because I loved Front Mission 3. That was actually my first Front Mission game, Front Mission 3, which was on PS1, and I really loved it. So I can't wait to play that game again. Amazing story. Had dual paths. You choose, I believe it was Emma, and I forget what the other girl is, but basically there's like two sides, and then if you go with one side, you're fighting with one faction. If you go on the other side, you're fighting against the opposite faction. You actually got to play against the other character that you chose or didn't choose, which is pretty cool. But yeah, definitely be excited for those. I know I'm excited. Pick it up because I do want more Front Mission games, more real Front Mission games, not these other fake Front Mission games that came out recently. And then finally, we did get a name for the sequel to Breath of the Wild, which is Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and that will be released on May 12th, 2023, if there's no delays. Yeah,
it's getting delayed.
I don't know. I don't think so. Usually Nintendo's pretty good when they give an actual release date. They usually do keep
Advance Wars, bro.
Well,
yeah,
that's
Wars. And then let's talk about the first time they announced that it was supposed to come out this year.
But they just gave
Zelda.
they gave a year though. They didn't give an actual date. So unless something happens, unless another kingdom starts shedding tears, I thought would be delayed or something like that.
Well, the funny thing about the name is there was a big debate whether it's Tears or Tears.
Or Tears. Yeah, I saw that, which was a weird thing. It's like,
I'm like, yo, it's Tears, dude.
And then Nintendo came out with a tweet saying, "Hey, this is how you pronounce it."
Yeah, it is Tears. Yeah, that is funny. I mean, it just shows you the English language, man. You never know. Tears or
the
Tears.
Same word.
Yeah, spelled the same. You just never know.
It kind of works with both, like either or, honestly, from what we saw of it.
Yeah, I mean, Tears of the Kingdom could be because
sense.
how the castle floats up in the sky. Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. It could be something else. Yeah, it's awkward.
I was dying laughing because I mean, I would be awkward if it was Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah,
but like so the way I thought about it is like, so it's Breath of the Wild, and I'm like, Tears of the Kingdom makes sense because it's going into that like nature plus like human anatomy kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So,
I mean, I thought Tears just because it looked sad. It looks definitely like a sadder Zelda game. So I was like, okay, maybe Tears is going to be a sadder game. I mean, because they did announce it's going to be a darker Zelda game, kind of like Majora's Mask. So I figured Tears makes more sense. Tears, I mean, I don't know.
Tears, I don't know.
But I did forgot to mention, this was actually Mike and Jesse's favorite part of the Direct. They did announce 4 farming sims. I'm not sure. Again, go check out our live stream. They were super hyped about that. I mean, I couldn't
rock on, dude.
They couldn't stop talking about the farming sims. No, really, for anybody who does love farming sims. I do enjoy farming sims too, but like,
how many do you need, dude?
Yeah, exactly. Like that's just too many. Too many.
I need it all.
I was waiting for them to announce that Tears of the Kingdom was gonna have a farming sim part, or something like that.
Dude.
It's never too late, dude.
Yeah,
it's never.
You have to rebuild Hyrule and everything. Yeah,
you have to feed the people, dude.
Yeah, exactly. But then moving on to Sony's State of Play, they did have theirs, and theirs was
whack.
It was not as good. At least they didn't have farming sims, but I mean, some of the highlights for them was Like a Dragon Ishin, which is pretty awesome. That is an older Yakuza game. This takes place back in the, I think, Meiji era. So
yeah,
you play as a samurai.
They actually changed the name of Yakuza too.
Yeah, and we are gonna mention that. Yeah, we are gonna mention that in a few. But basically, it's a remake of an older game. It's a game I wish came out. That also came out on the Wii U, and I was really excited when I saw that. And then, of course, it never came here to the West. But that's pretty awesome that it is finally coming to the West, and then we're in a remake. Rise of the Ronin, which definitely was the highlight to me. I don't know about you guys, but that was the highlight game that they showed to me.
It's by Team Ninja. That's great.
By Team Ninja. So the same people who made Neo, and of course, they're also making Wulong Fallen Dynasty as well. This is an open world action game.
And Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, they also made Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, and they've helped out on a bunch of other games too. Like they also helped out on Fire Emblem, which a lot of people didn't know about that. They helped out there as well. But yeah, and they made Strangers in Paradise Final Fantasy as well. But yeah, it's that game looks pretty dope. Like I'm super excited for that. I'm assuming it's going to be more like Elden Ring, right? Open world, but it looks a lot more story focused.
You think it's
So
gonna
I
be
don't know.
Souls like?
I think so, right? Because they've been on that role of with Neo, uh, I keep want to say Wukong, Wulong Fallen Dynasty, and games like that. Strangers in Paradise, which is another Souls-like game. I feel like it's going to be just an open world version of that. I mean, I could be wrong. It could be just a straight up action adventure game. But I mean, we don't know. They of the gameplay they showed off. It looks amazing. I can't wait for it. Unfortunately, it's coming out in 2024, which I did wish they would probably have showed that off, next year versus now because I hate
It's
waiting
not
for.
even like 2023.
I know, right?
Come on, bro.
Like I hate having to wait. I hate when games are announced way too early. And that's if it comes out in 2024. Because Wulong Fallen Dynasty, which is another game they're working on, is still not out yet. So who knows?
Yeah, and that's been around for years, dude.
Yeah.
Like that game,
Yeah.
like that's why I'm not excited about it. Is
Yeah.
because when something like gets like played with so much, it's not good anymore, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, but yeah, they did announce that. Another game that to me I wanted to highlight because it looks very interesting was Sin Duality. It was basically a mech based game where you play as the player character, you're inside a mech. It's a third person shooter, so you'll have, guns and stuff like that, missiles, all these things on your mech. But your partner is an AI, and basically the story of it is, a poison drops on Earth, pretty much kills up, a lot of the human population, and then they turn these animals into monsters, and basically you're just out there exploring the world. I'm not exactly sure for what, but you are out there trying to do stuff, and your AI companion here is helping you. But yeah, it was very interesting. It had some Platinum Games vibe, but it's not made by Platinum Games. But it looks very interesting, so definitely keep an eye out for that. And then also Stellar Blade, which was formerly known as Project Eve, finally got an actual name. It is a PlayStation exclusive now, which the funny thing was it was actually first announced on an Xbox showcase, and now it's PlayStation exclusive.
Money talks.
Yeah, and that's just basically a near clone, I guess. And honestly, I don't even know if the game's going to come out because that game has been showed off like for 3 or 4 years, so I'm not going to go into too much detail with that. But yeah, that was just a quick recap of the Nintendo Direct and Sony State of Play. If you do want to see all those videos or hear about that more, go ahead and check out our live streams. I don't want to waste more time with that. Moving on to Tokyo Game Show. A bunch of stuff was announced at Tokyo Game Show, and oh man, I'm telling you, this past week it felt like an E3 week because there was just so much announcements. There was announcement after announcement after announcement. You're waking up and there's a lot of stuff, and I was very surprised because typically Tokyo Game Show for me has never really been that announcement heavy.
Never been big.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
right. But I
not
think
really.
because of the lack of E3, a lot of people just held their cards till Tokyo Game Show. Even Gamescom wasn't as big. A lot of Gamescom news was kind of like outside of like Liza P and a couple of other things. I feel like this was definitely the better show. But one of the first things they announced was Like a Dragon Gaiden. So going to what Mike said earlier, they officially changed the name to the Yakuza game series in the West. Every game from here on out will be called Like a Dragon. For those of you who don't know, Like a Dragon is actually the Japanese name of the game. They just changed it over here, Yakuza. And the meaning behind that was because it was seen as a Japanese GTA. So that was their way to market it in the West. It was, which, if you look at the first Yakuza games, it does have a GTA-like style, minus the, driving cars and things like that. And it has beat 'em up mechanics. But that's how it was marketed back then. Nowadays, we all love Yakuza, right? It's gotten very popular, so they decided just to keep it in line.
Who it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody knows what it is, so they just changed it to like a Dragon. But one of the first things they announced, which was the day after the State of Play, was Like a Dragon Gaiden, which is a prequel to another game they announced, which was Like a Dragon 8. Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his
So
name.
convoluted.
Yeah. like Like a Dragon Gaiden, which is or the man who erased his name, stars Kiryu, and basically will take place between um sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to say it. Between Yakuza 7 or I'm sorry, Yakuza 6, aka Like a Dragon 6, and Yakuza 8, or Like a Dragon 8. I'm sorry, I'm still getting I'm still getting used to saying Like a Dragon as the name.
Yeah.
It'll take place in between those games to kind of let you know his story and where it's going to take place, because Like a Dragon 8 will actually star Kiryu as well as the protagonist to Yakuza 7,
Ichiban.
Like a Dragon, who's Ichiban, correct. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see those games. Are you guys excited to play those games at all?
I've never played one.
You got to play one, man.
So actually, a website had Steam keys for cheap, like the past few days, like a few days ago. So I bought Yakuza 0 and Yakuza Kiwami.
Kiwami? Oh, nice.
Nice.
For like $10, and I was like, all right, like $10.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying they're good, so I'm gonna give it a try here soon. Especially since it works in the Steam Deck, you know what I mean. I'm like, perfect. Like,
all of them work on Steam Deck, so I highly recommend
all of
them.
Yeah, I'm gonna check them out. But like everyone says they're good. I'm going in blind because I've barely seen any gameplay footage for that either. So,
it's fun.
Oh, it's fun.
So I'm excited for it, man.
It's fun and wacky. Like the cutscenes, bro, they're like so over the top, but they're hilarious. Honestly, like they're also making a live movie about this, and I'm more afraid of the movie because it has a lot of wackiness to it, but also some seriousness to it. I recommend playing Yakuza Kiwami first, and then going back to Yakuza 0, just because I feel like Yakuza 0 will have more meaning if you play Kiwami. But you could do it in either order because 0 is a prequel to Kiwami. But I feel like you get more
Kiwami and 0.
Yeah, I recommend Kiwami first and then 0, because then you'll feel for it, because a lot of the characters they introduce in 0, you see them in Kiwami as well, but you're like, they're different. So yeah, I highly recommend doing that.
Okay, I'll let y'all know.
Yeah. But what about you, Jesse? Are you excited for these games?
Okay, so somebody who's played through the Yakuza series 3 times over now, and then I just started replaying Like a Dragon again. I'm excited to have 3 more Yakuza games within the following years.
Yeah.
We used to have Yakuza games once in a blue moon.
Yep.
Like, if any, at that point in time. So, like, with something like this, it's a big step in the right direction. They're realizing that, hey, look, it's popular stateside.
Yeah.
And honestly, playing Like a Dragon again and seeing this prequel that's supposed to come out between those 2 games would make a lot of sense, because if you never beat Like a Dragon, spoiler alerts, he's a boss fight in the game, like out of the blue, just randomly. So seeing
Just said I never played it, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're spoiling. It's still a pretty new game, so I would hold off on spoilers on that. But yeah, go ahead, Jesse. He froze.
Is he gone?
Oh no.
Anyways,
yeah, moving on. Yeah, so those are slated to come out next year. And then we also do have Judgment and Lost Judgment are now available on PC. So there is some controversy around that, or there was controversy around that, which is why it wasn't available on PC. And basically, they used the likeness of an actor in Judgment to play the main character. And he's a very famous Japanese actor. And the agency that basically, does all his stuff, right? Like it gets him the jobs and all that. They did not want the game to release on PC because they were afraid of mods. They didn't want them to mess with the main character and change his looks and stuff like that. So they were very against that, but I guess somehow they got convinced to go ahead and do it. But hey, Judgment's another good game. I highly recommend playing that, Mike. I did play the first Judgment on PlayStation.
What kind of game is it? Is it like Yakuza?
Yeah, so it takes place in the same universe, but it's a little bit different. You play as
Yakuza?
Yeah, same universe as Yakuza.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So, but you don't play as a Yakuza member. Instead, you play as a lawyer. And you are a lawyer who turns detective. And I won't spoil the story for you, but you're a lawyer who turns detective, and then basically you're still doing detective jobs, but you also have like lawyer roles too. So it's kind of funny because like you'll get some things and you'll come out, you'll go objection, which is a callback to Phoenix Wright and stuff like that.
Right. Is it like a what's it called? Like one of those like visual novels?
No, it's
Like
not
in
a
the
visual
game?
novel. No, it's a it's
Okay.
it's played like Yakuza.
Oh,
So
really? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so
And it's called Judgment?
yeah, it's called Judgment. So they just
Oh, I'll
released
look it
on
up.
PC. Highly recommend it. And then Lost Judgment's the sequel. Amazing, amazing games. The fighting is actually a little bit different because since you are somebody who kind of like study martial arts, or the main character study martial arts, then there's different fighting styles you can go through. But I highly recommend that. I wouldn't play it until after you beat at least Yakuza Zero or Yakuza Kiwami because since it is on a newer engine, the gameplay is just a lot better than those
Oh, so
games.
yeah, it's hard to go back,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I would do those two
Okay.
first, because you'll
Oh,
notice like
okay.
less loading screens, less
It,
less of
this
everything.
looks good. This looks super good. Okay.
It is good. The story is
I'm
great.
gonna
There's a lot of I like detective like games, so there's a lot of finding clues, investigating clues.
Man, you're
Uh,
gonna waste a lot of my life with this. First Yakuza, now this dude. Like,
yeah, and
I
I
might
do
stream the Yakuzas actually. Like,
do
when I'm
it.
gonna play them. Like, yeah.
Do it. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Also, I recommend playing in Japanese. I mean, the Yakuza games are in Japanese, except for seven, but I still recommend playing in Japanese because I mean, they're Japanese, right? So
Right.
it takes place in
Yeah.
Japan. It just feels awkward where you have the likeness of a real Japanese person, but then like English words are coming out. It's just awkward for me. Um,
Right.
but
No,
yeah,
I feel that.
but yeah, that was announced, and
I
then
play in English sometimes because I'm lazy and I don't feel like reading. Like, so,
hold on one sec. Uh, Jesse's texting me right now. I'm just
what
telling him to
happened?
join back in. Discord somehow froze and it kicked him.
Yeah, I
Um,
did that. It's done that to me. It's the
yeah,
worst. Get it fixed, Discord. I pay for this.
yeah,
Like,
exactly, right? Yeah. But yeah, sorry about the technical difficulties there, but we're still gonna go along with this podcast. So moving along, another thing that they had a first look was Sonic Frontiers, which I don't know about you, but to me it keeps looking better and better.
I think it's getting really. At first, I was skeptical, and then they keep releasing gameplay like footage, and I'm like, this is actually like open world Sonic seems like the right play.
Yeah,
Like, I'm for it, man. I'm here for it.
yeah, and one of the crazy thing is that basically like when I'm going through and looking at the original showing that IGN did for their IGN first, I'm like, yeah, I don't know about this game. Like, it doesn't look that good. But then it's
I
like,
was the same way. Yeah.
yeah, and as they keep showing more and more, it's like, man, this game looks dope. And they just showed their more recent trailer that introduced Supersonic, and the music, man. Like, I mean, Sonic music is always amazing, but
Yeah.
yeah, that song I was like, it's got me hyped.
It's honestly like it might be a day one for me. Like I might actually like cop it and just
Yeah.
like see it. When's it come out? It
Uh,
comes out soon.
yeah, I think did I put the release date? Shoot, I didn't. It's the day before God of War.
Oh, at eighth. Oh, I'm not
Yeah,
picking it up day one
yeah,
then, like
it's the
because
day
I got
before
God
God
of
of
War
War.
coming in. Yeah.
So I might pick it up just to play it because, like I said, it's caught my interest, and that gives me at least 24 hours to play it before God of War. Um, so I think I'm gonna do it because it's definitely got my interest for sure.
Yeah, I'll definitely get it once I'm done with God of War. After I beat God of War, that's probably
Yeah,
next on my list. Like,
no,
because it
definitely
looks good.
it
I hope
does.
it's good. I feel so bad. Like Sonic's one of those genres where I feel so bad for it because it always got overshadowed by Mario. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, and they're great games. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like all the Sonic games. I grew up with Sonic before Mario. So
Yeah, like I agree with you with that. Like I grew up more with Mario than Sonic, but I was always jealous because my cousin was the one who owned the Sega Genesis, so I would play like
right,
Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and Sonic the Hedgehog 2 over at his house, and then a friend of mine's he only had a Sega Genesis and not a Super Nintendo, so like I would go to his house and we would go ahead and play Sonic the Hedgehog over there, and then he'll come to my house to play like the Super Nintendo, which is funny. So I was always kind of sad that I didn't have a Sega Genesis or anything like that. Eventually, I got the Game Gear, but no Sonic game, which I was sad
right,
again.
yeah,
I was like, the whole reason I wanted that Game Gear was to play Sonic. I never got the Sonic game. I was so sad. Where my
right.
cousin did get the Sonic game. So, but yeah, no.
So I'm
Yeah, go ahead.
excited for Sonic because the movies are doing good,
Yeah.
and like I want to see like a Sonic like renaissance. I
Yeah.
want to see Sonic come back and like start like killing it.
Yeah.
Like I'm here for it.
Well, welcome back, Jesse. We were just talking about
Oh,
Sonic
thank you.
Frontiers.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. For some odd reason, Discord froze and then shut off on me.
Oh, you're good, man.
No worries. But yeah,
But
are you
if we were
excited
talking-
about Sonic Frontiers?
Nah, dude, that thing looks like garbage still.
What? No
Yeah,
way.
I'm not interested in
All right,
it. It
watch.
looks just like a tech. To me, it looks like a tech demo.
Oh, man.
Like,
Yeah, Discord's gonna
Like-
kick you again. Discord's gonna kick you again now. Like after we've been hyping it up.
but like here, it's coming from a kid who didn't get to play Sonic growing up, and like to me, I was never interested in any sort of like those platformers.
You
Like
never watched a cartoon show, bro? I grew up with that.
Yeah, me too.
I watched like 1 or 2 episodes, but like in the mornings for me for like Saturday morning cartoons, it was just watching old episodes of Repeat of Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon, and then when Pokemon, like when Sonic rolled around, or like if the Sonic show showed up, even like the like not too recent Sonic show back in like early 2002 3
Oh,
when
Sonic
That
X?
was fired.
I think Sonic X.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was X.
fired.
I wasn't never interested in it, like, and then I tried getting into like the most recent like Sonic games, and like with me, like they're okay to mediocre at best. They're not all great, but like ever since Frontier came out, I think that's the new one, or like the gameplay footage and all that, it doesn't pique my interest.
Full disclosure, Jesse does not speak for all of the random encounter. Just to let you
I'm
know.
not. I'm just. This is just my hot take. I guess I'm just salty because
optimistic about it.
Like,
I'm so hyped.
I think I'm salty because I never had a Genesis growing up.
Yeah.
So like that
Don't
could
have
be
my
the main
Genesis.
thing. Like that could be the
Here.
thing. And like my first Sonic game was like Sonic Heroes. So like that would tell you how far in between a Sonic game that like
You never
I
played the
started with.
Dreamcast one? That's like the
Sonic
best.
Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2. Yeah, they're the
Adventure,
best.
yeah, like-
Yeah.
You see, I bought Adventure 1 and 2 on Adventure 1 on, it was the PS3 store when they did the like HD quote unquote remake of it, when they re-released it. But like even then, it felt like the controls felt outdated then. So it never really, piqued my interest. I'm sorry.
All you gotta do is go ahead, go to YouTube, search up Aquatic Mine in Sonic Adventure 2. It'll change your mind. That's all you gotta do. You just gotta
It
listen to the
might, it
soundtrack.
But like I said, if they have a demo, I'll be willing to play it and then see it from there. But like from the gameplay footage that we've seen, like from beginning to now, it feels just to me it's like a tech demo, what they want to accomplish with a Sonic game eventually.
Yeah. I mean, we're entitled to wrong opinions, but
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're entitled. I'm just saying. I guess it's just me growing out of that phase of platformers,
Yeah.
like
I still love
Mario, like Kirby, Sonic, everything like that. I'm just slowly growing away from them
I gotcha.
as a gamer, because I think those games are really meant for like a family, somebody who has a kid or somebody who grew with the franchise as a whole.
Oh man, Iwata is rolling in his grave right now.
I know,
it.
but yeah,
There's like hard platformers, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not just a
See,
platform
I-
as a
No, no.
genre.
I mean, I don't know, like
yeah.
yeah, I think like platformers, they could be reinvented, right? Especially in
like
3D.
Jack
Yeah,
and Daxter 2,
Yeah.
like that one level where you have to like jump like across like
Yeah.
some stuff, like I don't know, like
Well, like-
it's like
I-
there's
like, I
hard
really-
platformers,
this is-
dude, like-
I really enjoyed the the Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, like the Bowser's Fury part of it. I thought that was
Oh, yeah,
amazing, like that
that
because
was
it's like
pretty
open
good.
world Mario. Like I think, in my opinion, I think platformers can still be fun. They get more fun. Like Ukulele was fun. I play
Yeah.
Ukulele. They're still there, right? Like how many times can you go back to Mario 64 and play it? But I do agree that like
They
Sonic
need to
games.
do like a Souls-like platformer. That would be dope.
Oh,
Like
there
something
is.
like that.
Not really. I was gonna say Celeste is
Yeah.
kind of like that, but not really. I
Yeah,
guess.
but you come back every time. You
Yeah.
don't have negative
Yeah.
consequences for dying.
I mean,
Like,
He's
just play Super Mario Brothers: The Lost Levels. Like that's literally Souls like.
uh,
That game is
Souls-like.
super hard. That game is like super difficult, man. Like, but there goes your Souls like. But yeah, let's move along because we've been talking about Sonic. But yeah, Sonic Frontiers does come out November. I'm sorry, November 8th. Yeah, 8th.
Eighth?
When does God of War
Yeah.
come out? It's the day before God of War.
9.
Okay, so November
Yeah,
8th.
that-
Yeah.
and
So it does come along there. So like I said, me and Mike are excited. Jesse's not, but yeah, I guess we'll see how that game turns out in the end. So moving along, Xbox had their showcase next, and basically they just really announced a bunch of Game Pass games. Ni no Kuni Remastered, which is available on PC and PlayStation, and even Nintendo Switch, is finally available on Xbox, and is coming to Game Pass. The funny thing is, I couldn't find anything saying that Ni no Kuni 2 was coming to Xbox, which is
So you
weird.
play the first one, and you stuck.
Yeah, but you still
Yeah.
can't play the second one. So maybe eventually it'll come there, but you will be able to play Ni no Kuni remastered. They also announced a Japanese themed character for Overwatch 2 in their showcase, which was Kiriko. Not to be confused with Kirito from Sword Art Online. Uh, it's she's basically like a priestess or a shaman, so she does hand signs similar to
Ghostwire.
yes, Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yep.
Does the hand signs like that? Like honestly, if you look at the gameplay footage, it literally looks like Ghostwire Tokyo, where you kind of do moves based off of that. It looks like she's a healer of some sort or support of some sort. But yeah, that looks pretty cool. And then of course they announced Wulong Fallen Dynasty coming to Game Pass. Highly recommend that. And Deathloop is finally coming to the Xbox, and that will be in Game Pass day one as well. You can also catch that on PS5 through PlayStation Premium. And then Capcom had their showcase, and man, I was excited about Capcom. Honestly, like I didn't think I was gonna be so hyped. I was like, what does Capcom actually have to offer? But one of the highlights for me was the Mega Man Battle Network collection. It's gonna have online battles, and you'll be able to trade battle chips. And
Is that like RPG?
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
It's like the
yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
you never
I remember
played
playing
Mega
that
Man?
on the Game Boy.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say like
yeah.
Yeah.
so it's RPG where you're like on a grid that's about what, like I'm trying to remember, is it 6, 9? No, it's like
6. Yeah. Wait, no.
9 on each, or 6 on each side, right? So it's like 9.
Yeah, 6 on each.
Yeah. So there's 6 on each side, so 6x6 grid, and basically you have battle chips, and you control Mega Man, and then you can move up, down, left, and right, and you have your Mega Buster. But the battle chips allow you to do different moves. So you can do like a sword move. You have like wide sword. You have long sword. You have bombs you can throw. You can actually I forget what the name of the chip is called, but you can steal like people's like spaces, so they have less movement spaces. But there was also a PvP element to it where you can play against other people and you basically fight that way. But yeah, they are introducing online battles, so I'm curious to how it works. I hope it works like a what's the right word I'm looking for? Like you can just get into a lobby and just join up with any random person versus having to find a specific friend to play against. Because I would love to play against randoms online.
Like matchmaking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
matchmaking. There we go. Couldn't
Yeah.
find the right words. But yeah, I highly recommend Mega Man Battle Network Collection. It's going to look amazing. That is a day one buy for me. That comes out next year, and I can't wait for that. I
Like
can't.
2024 or 2023.
2023.
2023.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still in 2022. So
Yeah, but it's the end of the year, so I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
know, man. It's
no.
getting there, like.
yeah, it's early 2023. So I believe it was February. They do have an actual release date. I didn't write it down. I apologize for that.
I think you're right. I think it's February.
Yeah.
Sometime in February.
Might pick that. Is it on the Switch? Or
Yeah. Switch
on
every
all
yeah.
platforms, or all platforms,
Platforms.
but
On Switch,
Xbox.
for sure.
All platforms,
Yeah, no
but
Xbox.
Oh, is it on Steam? So
Yeah.
I can play it on my Steam Deck?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like, yeah, bet.
Oh, that's what I'm buying it on because
Yeah.
I might even stream it. Like, oh, I'm excited. I don't want to talk about it anymore, but I'm really excited. But there also is a cool like hub, or like not hub, but basically when you're in the menus, you're gonna have Mega Man there as an I don't know if it's a real AI, but he'll navigate and talk to you through the menus, which is pretty cool. The DS version of Mega Man Battle Network 5 had that. where you had like Mega Man on the bottom screen, and you could like tap on him, and he'll say words, and he would just say like, you have email land and things like that. So I'm pretty excited for that. It's something
Did
stupid,
you watch
but
a show?
I did. The show was pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
I used to watch a show and it was good.
Bro, I love that Mega Man. It was mainly because he had the mask on, right? So like,
Yeah,
he
Yeah,
had the,
that's what made him cool.
yeah. I was like, oh, this is
And like Base, the redesign for Base, where he was
Yeah.
wearing the cloak like the whole
Yeah.
time during the show, and then when he took it off, you're like, okay, something good's going to happen.
Yeah, that was amazing. They also had the GameCube game, which I owned, which is pretty dope as well. And it's played like old school Mega Man, but they implement the mechanics of the battle chips into it, which is pretty dope. Highly recommend checking that one out too if you can. But yeah, be excited for that one for sure. They did show off some Resident Evil stuff. Well, not really new stuff. They just showed a little bit more of like the DLC for Village. They showed a little bit of Resident Evil 4, but they did announce that they will have a Resident Evil showcase next month, and they will go into more details for Resident Evil 4. Now that I'm excited for because I love Resident Evil 4, and I can't wait to see what they do with this version of Resident Evil 4 since it's supposed to be scarier. Are you guys excited for that?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I've been telling you for like since the beginning of
Yeah.
the podcast, like Resident Evil 4 means a lot to me, in terms of like the game that like made me love gaming as a whole. So, and I'm excited to see
You think it's a day
what
one
they
buy
bring
for you
out.
guys?
Already. If they announce
there's
a
nothing
collector's
else out.
edition,
Yeah.
I'm buying it day one.
Nice.
It's a day one buy.
Same here. Like, I'm definitely buying it day one. Loved the game. My only complaint of Resident Evil 4 was the lack of horror elements. But I think they heard that criticism, and now they're making it spookier, right? Because it takes place in the dark
Yeah.
versus being in broad daylight in the beginning of the game. So I'm excited. Can't wait for that. And the last thing that Capcom announced, man, I can't tell you how I can't remember the last time I was hyped for a Street Fighter game, but Street Fighter 6 is looking to be super dope. And I know, Mike, you don't like fighting games, but man, like the gameplay in this looks amazing.
I made an October game release like list already. So
Yeah.
like there's a fighting game in there I talk
Oh,
about.
nice.
You'll see it. Like you got to look it up when I talk about it, bro.
I might have to see that.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Street Fighter 6 gameplay at all?
No.
No. Oh man, Jesse,
I
you
haven't.
watched it, right?
Yeah, I watched it. So basically, the whole roster was shown in 3.5 minutes of the trailer. They showed off everybody, the newcomers, plus the actual Road Warriors. So we're getting Zangief back. We got Dawson back. We got E Honda back. This is the first, and they even announced it. This is the first Street Fighter game with the most female characters in it.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at half of the new roster, half of them are females.
Yep.
They talked about, like, they showed off that you could possibly play arcade ports of Street Fighter games, like previous titles. The character customization was crazy, out of this wall, like RPG kind of like style, which is cool. And I'm just glad my guy came back, Zangief. He's finally there again, so I already know who I'm playing day one. So
Yeah, like
definitely.
I want to mention the RPG mechanics. I thought that was the coolest thing because one of the first thing was when I first saw the first trailer of Street Fighter 6 was I hope there's like a character creator and you probably find like people to be your masters and you learn abilities off of that. Kind of like Xenoverse, right? Xenoverse, you create your character and you can learn abilities from other Dragon Ball characters. And sure enough, they did that. But what made it even better was how you roam around the streets and you just fight a bunch of random people, almost like a beat 'em up. But you can also do like 1 versus like 3 battles where people are jumping in and you're fighting them. I think it has potential to be an amazing single player game. That whole concept of it just feels like more fighting games should do that. Like Xenoverse is the only other game that I can think of that has a really good single player campaign where you create your own character. You go through the motions, you learn from your masters and things like that. and this is just copying a lot of those elements, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing,
No.
and I really enjoy that. It was kind of awkward showing that you had to use some of your abilities to like traverse around the town, so you can see him doing the spinning bird kick that Chun Li does to go from one
Yeah.
building to another. Like, I was like, okay, but you know,
I mean, it's cool because like that single player game is going to get a lot of people who normally were afraid of fighting games to come in and try something, even if they're not there to play, you know, versus or rank or anything like that. They could go in, play a single player game, learn the basic mechanics, don't have to feel threatened about trying to go online and suffering through if you never played like a fighting game. Like those issues or those roadblocks, they could easily just say, hey, I just want to play this story.
Yep.
And I feel like with Capcom, they'll release more story or DLC for it and expand that universe more than just, oh, hey, here's a little side project. I feel like they really are putting their heart and soul into that single player experience.
I agree. Do you think us talking about this is gonna change your mind, Mike? That you might give it a try?
Yo, so I seen the movies. The movies were good. I like the movie. They're cheesy, but I like them. You know, and like I used to play like back in the day, like on the Genesis and everything like that. But yeah, you know, like I'll wait and see. You know, I'll feel it out. I have GameFly. You know, so like
I think you
know,
might.
Worst comes to worst, like I'll get it from GameFly.
I think you might enjoy the single player campaign because, like I said, you create your character, and it's more like RPG-ish, where you create your character, you get different like outfits and stuff like that. You learn from different masters. You kind of put the moves you want to use.
That seems interesting to me. You know what I mean? Like I'll do something like that, but like to buy like a straight fighting game, without like any like kind of story. Like I'm not a fighting game kind of guy.
Yeah,
I hear you.
I mean, I think with this one too, they took a lot from the mistakes that they did with Street Fighter V. Because if you remember when that came out, it was bare bones.
Yeah, it had no single player.
No single player, no story mode. No, it was just.
I would never buy that. You know, like
here's like your roster, and here you go. And they realized, hey, look, like
it's a very small community that like that.
Yeah, like look, we need a build.
Even the Street Fighter community was not liking Street Fighter 5.
Not liking it.
Yeah, because like they only had, I think, like 8 characters or something like that. Like it had a super small roster, and then everything else was DLC. Like they milked it like, big time. Yeah, it was
a train wreck. I would say like
Fighter games are the easiest games to milk too, because you can just keep adding characters and charging for them and everything.
But they can do it right? Like like Smash Bros. Ultimate, like you had a billion characters in it. Well, not a billion, but you know you had a lot of characters in it. But the DLCs were amazing because we got even more characters on there. So like I feel like you can do it right without having to like milk everybody for their money. Kakarot, I feel like could have been better. Because like a lot of the or not Kakarot, I'm sorry, fighters, Dragon Ball fighters could have been better because it's like 90% of the DLC is Goku. Like literally, you can have a team of Goku versus Goku. Because remember, you got a three-man team. You can have a team of Goku versus Goku, and each Goku would be a different character. Like it's ridiculous.
Right.
There's more Gokus in that game than anything else. You know,
it's like dude. It's the Goku and Vegeta roster with friends. That's basically all
ridiculous.
it is.
Yeah, it's like you got Kid Goku, you got Goku non-Super Saiyan, you got Goku Super Saiyan, you got Goku Super Saiyan Blue. You got GT
Goku.
I'm sorry, Kid Goku Super is Saiyan. GT Goku. You got Ultra Instinct Goku. Like you can technically count Goku Black, that's another
Goku Black as another Goku.
And then if you want to count Vegito and Gogeta, you got them too. So it's like, come on, man, there's too much.
But do you consider them Goku because it's part Vegeta and part Goku? So Goku. Like that's a half and half for both.
Yeah,
that's a 50% Goku,
which equals one Goku, right? 50 plus 50 equals one Goku. So.
And like the funny thing about it is, like you look at a game like Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Fighters, and like the anime alone, there's so many characters you could pick to add to the roster.
Yeah, I agree. Like 18 should have been her own character.
18. They should have added like
Nail?
2 other members of the Ginyu Force.
Yeah.
Nail.
Nappa?
You have
like
Nappa's in there.
Is it? Oh, okay, no, Raditz is not in there,
he's
right?
in there. I think so. Wait, which one?
In Fighters. I
I
don't think
think
Raditz
he
is.
is.
I know one
No,
of them
no,
wasn't.
no. Raditz isn't. It's
Yeah.
Nappa because Nappa, and then later on they put Vegeta when Vegeta still had the tail.
Bardock, even though he's not Goku, he looks like Goku, so you can count Bardock.
He plays
as
like
well.
Goku.
Yeah, he plays like
He plays like Goku.
So it's like
If you squint your eyes, he's Goku.
it's like if
okay?
Street Fighter 6 came out and it's like, oh, you have Ryu, and then you have Kid Ryu, and then you have Old Man Ryu, and you have like, Evil Ryu, like
well, let's think of it about like this too, because
I know what you're gonna say.
Street Fighter has the same issue. You have Ryu, Ken, Dan, Akuma, Gouken, which was Ryu's and Ken's mentor.
Yeah.
You had like Master. You had
Evil
Omi,
Ryu.
Evil Ryu, and then Omi, which was half evil or half evil Ryu. Like, you know what I mean? It's cool to have those because like those characters are like very beginner friendly because those are Shoto characters. Like
Mortal
you could
Kombat
do
has the same
ball.
thing too, where everybody was a ninja.
Well, you have the ninjas. Like we could go on to days about that.
Yeah,
but
that's
like,
true.
but like hopefully with this roster for Street Fighter 6, we get a good balance between grapplers, shotos, boxers, the mix. I like I said, I'm super excited for it, and to see, hey, let's put a single player game that will allow new players to enjoy content is always a plus.
You okay there, Mike?
Yeah, Mike, you fine?
There's a fly.
Oh.
Like, there's a huge fly going around.
I
here.
saw
So I'm like,
fly
oh
across
yeah.
the
Like,
screen.
I'm like, where is this fly come out of? Like, it wasn't here the whole time. Like, I'm like spazzing out about that.
No, I-
I'm like, what's going on right now?
dude,
Like,
it was more interesting, bro.
I'm like,
yo, I'm trying to like karate chop it out of the air, but like I'm just like it's not coming close enough. Like,
yeah, I just see you looking, man, like, is this dude going crazy or what? Like,
No, dude, I saw it fly across the screen
I think
earlier.
it went across the screen, yeah.
It might just like stopped with a 1,000-eye stare, just looking.
Oh, I'm trying to karate kid it, dude. Like, I'm just like, where is it at, dude? We're talking about Street Fighter, so I'm just like, yo, like, come on, what's my move? Like,
Oh man.
anyways, Street Fighter 6 is coming out, so definitely be on the lookout for that. I think it's going to be an amazing game. A couple other things. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster was announced. That was actually rumored because Konami did give a hint of something popular. An old franchise, it was a popular franchise, was going to come back, and sure enough, it was Suikoden. I honestly didn't think this was ever going to come back.
Well, I thought this one was going to come back because no more than 2 days after they announced that like a classic was going to get a re-release or a remaster,
Yeah.
the name got re-copyrighted again. Like they reissued the copyright. So people were like, oh, let's put 2 to 2 together. It would kind of make sense where it was aligning. I mean, it looks beautiful, honestly. Like, they're really giving that treatment to it.
are they releasing at the same time?
Yeah, I think it's a collection. Yeah, 1 and 2 is
it's
like
a collection.
one
It's
game.
one.
What's it on Switch, or is it
All platforms.
All platforms.
including PC? Or?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so Steam definitely too.
Yeah, they were mentioning it for the Switch. Like, that was kind of like if you were watching when Konami had their conference. They were just heavily showing it off for the Switch, but they were like, hey, look, it's for everything. And later, like, since today's the last day of Tokyo Game Show, the original director who did 1 and 2 is interested to bring back the series again and make new games.
Yeah, hold on, I'm fact checking because I thought it was all platforms. I just want to double check to be sure because I know for a sec Switch,
all platforms.
Switch and PlayStation for sure.
There was a rumor there was going to be a Legend of Dragoon, so that never happened, huh?
No, not with the same with the Metal Gear Solid remasters that was talked about for over a year now. Was quote unquote.
Gosh darn shame, man.
Yeah, so it is all platforms. So I did double check that. Yeah.
It is okay.
Yeah, so yeah, no, I personally have never played a Suikoden game. but they look cool. Like I've been watching. I do not know how to pronounce the names. Like something Chronicles, Ueden Chronicles or something like that. The
Yeah,
Thousand
it's
Man something.
very influence of
Well, it's the
this
creator. Yeah,
series.
it's the creator of
Yeah,
Suikoden, and that game looks amazing. Like I'm watching it and looking at the trailer. I was like, man, that game looks super hype. And that kind of got me interested in doing that. But I'll definitely be picking this up because I've never played the game, and people speak highly of it. And I love JRPG, so I definitely wanna play it.
yeah,
Uh,
they're
Yeah,
classics.
I've
They're
never played it,
definitely.
so I'm gonna pick it up for sure,
yeah,
100%.
definitely. It's like kind of like Dragon Quest. I had skipped out for the longest, and then finally when I got into it, man, I'm in deep where I like Dragon Quest. I think it's probably my favorite JRPG franchise. Mainly Dragon Ball, Dragon Quest Five is mainly that one.
Yeah,
Um,
me and you had plenty of talks back in
yeah.
the day about your Dragon
Well,
Quest
remember
side.
how I kept like after I got that Dragon Quest fix, I kept coming up to you. I was like, "Hey, I need all these Dragon Quest games. Look for them for me."
And then
Like
I found, or I had an extra copy
nine,
of which
yeah, a
Dragon Quest
nine,
9. I'm like, hey,
yeah,
do you want it, bro?
yeah,
You're like, sure. He didn't even hesitate, bro. The first word he said out of his mouth, he's like, when can you bring it?
yeah.
Like that was it.
But yeah, have you played Dragon Quest at all, Mike?
Yeah, yeah. I've been playing Dragon Quest since it was Dragon Warrior.
Okay, gotcha.
You know, like
Have you played
I think
Dragon Quest
about it.
Five?
No, I haven't.
Dude, highly
Yeah,
recommend it.
you that
It's
last time I seen you, like in person, you were talking about it.
yeah,
Like,
dude, it
yeah,
is.
That's I think that's James's favorite Dragon
It
Quest, if I'm
is,
not
man.
mistaken.
It's very
yeah,
special to me, and I'm definitely gonna do a video on that because the story around that was basically like my youngest son was born, and I couldn't play a game at the time because it was hard. I was holding him, and to hold a controller at the same time was kind of hard. So I downloaded it on my phone, and while holding him on one hand, I'm playing the game on the other hand. So I played it all on on phone, which the controls weren't bad at all. Is I mean it's turn based, right? You don't need
Yeah,
much.
right.
But what really stood out to me is the game story is about a kid. You start off as a kid, you become a grown up. You kind of go through multiple years, and eventually you get kids as well in the game and things like that. And that kind of like hit me to home because as a father, right? You kind of get all this, but there's a bunch of it has a good twist to it versus most JRPGs, and I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to give out spoilers. It is an old game, but if you haven't played it, you do want to play it with with no knowledge of the game at all. It is really really good. Highly recommend
yeah,
it. Love the music in the game. Love the gameplay. Love everything about it. The pixel art's amazing. Everything about it is amazing. Pick it up. It's available on DS. If not, it is available on mobile devices as well, which in my opinion I think they fit it fine. But yeah, be free to choose about that. But anyways, yeah. So Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remaster are coming to all platforms. Definitely excited for that one. And then Dragon Ball Z Kakarot did get a new DLC and a new season pass where they're bringing three new, I guess, DLCs coming to that. The first one they announced was Bardock's story, which is pretty cool. It looks like they're using the movie Bardock and not the Bardock story of the what was it, of the Brawley movie.
yeah,
So that, I guess it's not canon technically. But I think the movie Bardock story is a little bit better for a game versus the little bit of Bardock we got in the Brawley movie. But yeah, that is everything. Well, there's a bunch of other stuff that was announced on Tokyo Game Show, but this was the stuff I figured we would highlight before we end the podcast. I did want to mention one extra thing, which was a leak. GTA 6 did get leaked online, and man, was it bad. Mike, I'll have you take over and you explain the whole situation.
So pretty much they got hacked, and not only did they get like a bunch of gameplay footage, like we can't show it on here. I don't know, like if they'll take the video down
Yeah,
if you
I'm
show
not
it.
gonna show it
take
now.
two,
I will
Yeah,
not show it on here.
yeah,
Take Two just took down every video with copyright strikes
Yeah,
that
right.
were
So
showing.
I'm sure online there's mirrors somewhere where you can watch the video gameplay, but they pretty much stole a bunch of video. It's probably like a few hours of video. Not only that, but they stole the source code. So
Yeah,
it's a very big, it could potentially like delay the game. You know what I mean? Like as well, because it's like so much got out, and it wasn't just like, oh, like, marketing kind of thing. Like someone literally hacked into their like stuff and took it and like released it online. So that guy's got 5 stars right now for sure, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like that guy is like got military personnel looking for him right now. So hopefully he knew what he was doing. But honestly, it's looking. I watched all the video, and it's looking like it looks good. Like if me, I hate GTA Online, but I love like the campaign for GTA 5. But if it's looking great, it looks like there's 2 characters. It's like a girl and a guy.
Yeah.
And it's it looks like I read earlier in an earlier leak that it's supposed to be like a Bonnie and Clyde modern day kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it looks like that was true because it's like a girl and a guy that you switch between. But the only thing I want to see is like a campaign co-op, not a GTA Online.
That would be.
But it looks good. There's mirrors on there. I know because I watched a few mirrors. Like, so if you go online, you Google it, like you'll definitely find videos on it, and it's definitely worth checking out if you're into that franchise.
Yeah, we definitely won't be telling you where to look for or how to do it. That's all up to you, and we won't be showing that footage because that's the last thing we want to do. Is get copyright claim.
Yeah,
but I mean, me personally, I'm not a big GTA fan. Like the last GTA game I played was Vice City, and after that, which was like, they're all kind of similar.
But a good turn your brain up kind of game.
Yeah. And all I would do in those games too was like, I would do the cheat codes to get all the weapons, do the cheat codes to get 5 stars, get everybody on me and just blow up everybody and stuff like that. Like, and I just like, I don't know. I just got sick and tired of that. Not my cup of tea. Are you excited for that, Jesse?
I'm actually kind of excited. I mean, with me, one of my favorite Grand Theft Autos was actually Vice City. That was definitely like my go-to.
I need to remake that.
They do, definitely. And last year, or actually it's been over a year now, I replayed GTA 5 during lockdown for COVID. To me, it's honestly something that I'm looking forward to. I'm not going to pick it up day one per se. I'll wait till it goes on sale. They normally have a sale on it around the holiday time, and I'll definitely play through it. It's one of those games where you just turn off your brain and just kind of go with the flow. The story's interesting enough, but you're really just, it's one of those games.
Too.
They're funny stories.
You get to kill things, and like it's a funny story. So.
Yeah, it's like a funny story. It's like it's one of those games that you could get away from like everyday life and just like shut your brain off, enjoy like a action comedy movie for a few hours.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll wait and see. I mean, who knows? I might change my mind to get it or not. But as of right now, I'm not interested because. Not my cup of tea. I tried like Watch Dogs, which was, Watch Dogs to me seemed a little bit more interesting, and they were just boring to me. Like, because I like the technology aspect to it, and I was like, okay, this seems like a pretty cool type of deal. You're a vigilante, but I guess the closest I've got to liking GTA again was Sleeping Dogs, which was amazing. The combat was amazing. The whole story of it was amazing.
There's no guns in that though, so it's
well, there is guns. You get it towards like the middle of the game. But I did like the combat of it and everything like that. So I mean, I guess we'll wait and see. But yeah, that's the GTA 6 stuff. I guess if you're excited for it, then check out that stuff and look for it at your own risk. And hopefully you won't get 5-starred neither.
Right.
But that is all the time we have for today. Once again, thanks everybody for joining us, and taking the time to listen to our podcast. We will be doing the podcast once a week for now. But please stay tuned for smaller videos that we will do in between, where we will have just solo videos where we're giving our top 10 or, just individual thoughts on video games and stuff like that. Don't forget, go ahead and check out our Patreon and our Streams donation page. Any type of donation or Patreon you do to us will help us in terms of buying newer games when they're released, so we can go ahead and have content for them. Better equipment, better microphones and stuff like that. All that good stuff that we need to make the channel a lot better. And don't forget to share. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitch as well. We are trying to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the month on YouTube and 50 followers by the end of the month on Twitch. With those 50 followers, that will get us to affiliate level. so then we can start getting paid there and stuff like that. And with 100 subscribers on YouTube, that will allow us to have a custom link to make it easier for us to share the channel with everybody else. But yeah, once again, thank you for joining us. This is the Random Encounter. My name is James. That is Jesse. And that is Mike. And we will see you in the next episode of the Random Encounter.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye bye.